There's another one of the paint projects. Painted the top black, then we've got these light gray sections. The brick is okay. I have no idea how I'm going to do that detail, but right now this is just kind of a hot mess. I haven't decided what color I'm going to paint the doors. It's got this little brick trim here that I missed, and I missed that, so we'll catch up with that. But this is the Tamiya paint. This is standard Michael's acrylic, just standard black. This was an Our-Town school, but I've seen this kit done in as a bottling company and as a factory, and I'm going to make it a factory. I'm just going to cover up that Our-Town school. Has an address number right there, which I'll probably keep. This is going to require some time and attention, so I'll probably also put an interior on this. I've got the plastic set out for the base. Another thing I've been doing is weathering these, and all I've been doing here is putting on brown panel line, and what this does is basically just takes the newness off the... Do I have one that's not painted? No, this one. Now this is the latest run of the Rapido trailers, and these are off these Walther's spine cars, the Mark 1, Mark 2 spine cars. And like I say, when everything's new, it just doesn't look right. And I'm not a big weatherer. I don't like having this obnoxious weathering, but you can see, I think these are done. So I think these, I did the powdering on the underneath, and again, it's not a heavy job, but these things get dirty in transit, and I have prototype photos of these things. You can't even read the capacity information on the trains by the time that they run a load from one end of the country, from Chicago to the one end of the country to the other. So these are very lightly weathered relative to the prototype. And then here's one that I haven't done the bottom of yet, and it's just a matter of putting some red powder on the bottom of those, and I'll get to those here I'm sure shortly. So anyways, that's kind of the chaos and how I do things on this on my bench top, just piece here, piece there. Don't have a big selection of these paints, but I'm falling in love with these Vallejo paints. This is a primer, it says, but it's the right color. It's red brown. So we're gonna go with it. Another thing you have to be careful about when you paint it with a brush is make sure that you're putting the layers on thin enough that you're not losing any of your detail. You can definitely see close, I can at least, and I doubt it's going to come out on the video, but you can definitely tell that the texturing is there. You can see it, the scratches on the plastic, and they are coming through the paint. So it's just a matter of getting enough paint on there to give it some color. And then we'll just, it just becomes a matter of enhancing it and making sure you don't have any rinse or drips. And that's the gorgeous thing about this Vallejo paint, is it seems to be isopropyl base, so it is an acrylic, so it will water down, but unlike the acrylic paints you get at Michael's, when you add isopropyl to that, it has a tendency to clump up. And this stuff, when you add water or isopropyl to it, it definitely thins. And the other thing is it quite dries quite quick. And as it dries, you can easily see the high spots. And so as it dries, you can take them up as needed. Like this side is already dry. Except for right there, I can just see this little high spot. I'm just going to take it down. Spread the paint around. That side's good to go. This side is still drying, still got some high spots, so we'll take those down a little bit. Now I'm just going through and checking out and getting those spots that I missed, and as this paint dries and moves around, you can begin to see them. So it's just kind of a matter of looking all around these things, and this thing's dry enough that I can handle it now, so that's kind of another reason to use these Vallejo paints. I love these things. This is a isopropyl base. That means that stuff is gonna dry out pretty quick. I'm really not, I shouldn't be so concerned about this because we still got to go through and do the weathering on these things in order to bring them to life. So I painted the roofs, and this is just black, and this is going to be very hard to show, but just standard black, and this is Michael's acrylic. And then after that, went through with this gray panel line adjuster, and I have no idea if you can at all see that, but you can see the blue-gray inside the lines. And I'm calling that done. That's ready for paint, and I got to go through and do the trim. And for now, we'll probably do that, and then so these pieces go together like this. This little building is out of square without the roof. The roof is what keeps it square, and so once we put it on, with all the, to the point that we've got it so far, but it's beginning to look like something that's not plastic. So anyways, we'll let that dry hard, then we'll hit it with clear, and then we'll come around and paint the underside of this our red for now. I mean, this is a primer, so first time, gamble. I'm gonna do this yellow wash. At least try. I have no idea how this is gonna turn out. So I'm doing this with isopropyl and not water on the acrylic. Worst comes to worst, gotta repaint. Looks like the alcohol is stripping off the base color, which is fine. I'm not terribly worried about that. Just adds to the weathering effect. Alright, so we won't be using alcohol on this stuff from now on as a wash, so I'll just go back to using, we'll try it with the water on the next one. This is probably the right way to do it anyway. Seeing down to the gray beneath the red. Just adds to the weathering. Maybe we have a better camera angle now. Let's see what the hell I'm doing. So the next color on this should be what? Brown? Panel wash, black, brown, brown. So change my mind. Going to be using red oxide heavy body. I don't like heavy body. I will never use it again, but I have it. And it's the right color. So I diluted this down to wash strength with water. Apparently not good enough. So this is just to brighten up. Cut some of that out. So anyways, this will give us our red barn appearance. But it will still look old because we will, using a wash strength, see the brown through this. And I am going to continue to hit this to make sure that that is what happens. First color, first coat is a lot more solid than I want it to be, so we're probably going to wipe some of the shit off. And you see that it's runny enough that it doesn't want to stay, so it will be a wash